Now, such audaciousness in the face of injustice is also contagious. It inspires your fellow captives to join the resistance. And there are so many moving historical examples of this power of edgy boldness. You'll see, I've struggled this week, I can't find the words to describe it exactly, what we see here in James. It's a rawness or harshness, it's a savage critique, but it emerges, and here's the key, it emerges from genuine anguish. It comes from true lament. That's what makes it legitimate. So there are many examples, as I said, of this power, of edgy boldness to spark reformation. But we have to consider a more recent one. It's an example which I feel this week has been forced upon me. I could not move away from it. I don't know if it's providential. But I feel I have no choice but to use it as an illustration. It's one which in the last week has captured the attention of the entire country, it seems, garnering more than 25 million views on YouTube the last time I looked. And I'm talking, of course, about Oliver Anthony's ballad, Rich Men North of Richmond, which is a lament over the poor conditions of the working class in America, the loss of agency that is found among men, particularly in the Appalachian South. This song, like James' epistle, is not an attack upon the rich per se, but upon the insolent rich. Those who have overstepped their authority and seek to exploit their fellow man. The rich men north of Richmond, as he calls them, which is a reference to the corrupt ruling class in Washington. And the song is a good example of what is now called hillbilly elegy, of working class lament, where in it Anthony makes reference to the compounding factors which contribute to his enslavement, to his pain and sorrow, his despair, an impoverished culture which has led to drug and alcohol addiction, insufficient employment and oppressive taxation, partiality on the part of the government towards those who abuse the system, on and on. And part of the reason why this song resonates with so many, I think, is because of a rawness that it has. A rawness which emerges from true wretchedness. It's a sincere voice that we hear, crying out literally in the wilderness that things are not the way they should be. The Babylon Bee had an article about this. The heading of it was, "Country Music Industry Confused by Man Actually from Country Making Music." Country music has become very manufactured, formulaic. It's like the movie industry, right? It's just it's a formula. It's become very artificial. It has become smooth, you might say, which is what we see in the modern world. The beautiful has been replaced by the smooth, right? That which is not threatening, right? That which is smooth and soft, that which can't harm you. If you look at the way beauty is spoken of in Scripture, it's not smooth at all. It is rough. It is dangerous. It provokes. It overwhelms. And even in classical antiquity, right? Read Plotinus on what beauty is. Beauty is threatening. It's something that's not safe. The words of the prophet are not smooth words. They are coarse. They are rough. They can cut you. You can bleed from them. But Anthony's not just crying out to God his troubles. He's not just lamenting, but he's also calling for divine judgment. It's not for nothing that he began a recent concert by reading Psalm 37, which reads, starting verse 12, "The wicked plots against the righteous and gnashes his teeth at him. But the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he sees that his day is coming. The wicked draw the sword and bend their bows to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose way is upright. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. Better is the little that the righteous has than the abundance of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The Lord knows the days of the blameless, and their heritage will remain forever. They are not put to shame in evil times. In the days of famine they have abundance, but the wicked will perish. The enemies of the Lord are like the glory of the pastures. Notice the similar language to James. They vanish like smoke, they vanish away. A day of judgment is coming for wicked rulers, declares the Psalter, which is also James' message, both to his fellow Christians and the Jewish establishment who are persecuting them, that the day of the Lord is near, a day that will bring justice to the oppressed and judgment to the oppressor. And Oliver Anthony's message is the same, that God will not ignore the cries of his laborers forever. So unless our nation repents of its sin, the day of the Lord will come, a day of judgment